This is your primetime forecast for East Alabama and West Georgia from Dr. Don's Weather. Dr. Don's Weather is made possible by the Randolph County Commission, First Light Coffee, Roger Bell Auto Brokers, Southern Auction Solutions, Genesis Wake Clinic, Jimmy Stevens Construction, Anchor Roofing, the Town of Wadley, Auction 431 South, the Salem Auction House, and Bama Diesel Repair. From the Alpha Weather Center, powered by Boondocks Barbecue and Creamery, Southern Union State Community College, and the venue at 5 Points Farms. Here's Dr. Don.
Good morning, East Alabama and West Georgia. Welcome to your Monday, Martin Luther King Day. A lot of you are off today, including myself. Well, not really. I don't think I'm ever completely off, but hey, it is what it is. I love what I do. So we invite you to stop by First Light Coffee in downtown Roanoke. They are open on Tuesday through Saturday, 7 a.m. until 3 p.m. in beautiful downtown Roanoke. Tell Miss Jessica that Dr. Don sent you. Stop by and pick up a delicious cup of coffee from First Light Coffee. Also, don't forget about Jamie Dukas. Jamie can handle all of your insurance need in Alabama and in Georgia. He can take care of your automobile needs, your homeowner's insurance. He can handle all of it, and he can save you money at the same time. Give Jamie a call today at 256-831-7770. Click the link at the top of the video or give him a call. Or you can also scan that QR code you see there on the screen. Don't forget about Jamie Dukas for your local insurance needs. It's Monday, January 15th, 2024, and we invite you to head over to our YouTube channel and click that subscribe button. Also, hit that little bell so that when we go live to cover severe weather, you'll be guaranteed to get that push notification. Oh, my goodness. Let's talk about snow, sleet, freezing rain, and brutally cold temperatures. And I got to tell you, the cold is going to be the bigger headlines once this thing is over with. The frozen precipitation that we may or may not see across East Alabama and West Georgia, I don't think it's going to be a major deal. I think, there could be some issues, but nothing widespread. But the cold is going to be widespread, and it is going to be dangerously cold as we get into tomorrow night, and on Wednesday. Folks, we're talking about wind chill values down around zero. So this is going to be extremely dangerous. You got to make sure you are prepared for this as it turns into the Arctic across Alabama and Georgia. So here are the thoughts and timing for today's winter precipitation. We do have an elevated risk area, which is up in North Alabama. We expect a wintry mix of freezing rain, sleet, and snow, difficult travel with sporadic power outages. I think the biggest problem is going to be across North Alabama, primarily along and north of the I-20 corridor. Between I-20 and I-85, which is the majority of our coverage area in Alabama and in Georgia, we are talking about a limited risk area where we could see a wintry mix of freezing rain and sleet. Could be a little bit slick in spots, especially bridges and overpasses. The steps at your front door, your sidewalk, your parking lot, all could have a light glazing of ice tomorrow morning. So that could be a problem in some locations, especially the higher elevations of East Alabama and West Georgia. Timing on all of this, it's ongoing across North Alabama now. And then across East Alabama and West Georgia, we're talking about 6 p.m. this evening through about 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, both in Alabama and in Georgia. And then we are also looking at maybe, it may be closer to midnight before we really start to get this going tonight, but sometime between 6 p.m. and midnight, we'll start to see a little freezing rain and maybe some sleet across East Alabama and West Georgia. Again, there could be some scattered spotty patches of ice here and there, but significant travel problems, I think, will be north of I-20 and probably even further north than that. You're likely going to have to go north of Birmingham, north of Gadsden to get into some really significant travel issues this evening into tomorrow morning. Total snow depth, they're getting nailed up there in Tennessee. Places like Nashville may end up with around 9 inches of snow before this is completely said and done. Now, understand, some of that melted. Some of it will melt today. They'll receive more snow, so there may not be 9 inches total on the ground at one time, but throughout this entire event, a little over 9 inches there just south of Nashville, back toward Memphis, close to 10 in some spots. Then across North Alabama, extreme northwest Alabama, about 4.5 inches. I saw some video yesterday of 3 inches up there measured already. But again, some of that may thaw, and then they'll have more snow. So overall, that's what we're looking at. And you'll see that snow line, the measurable snow line, just doesn't make it very far south in the state of Alabama. Not to say you can't see a snowflake or two, especially Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Gadsden, and North. But south of that, you're just not going to see much in the way of snow, and that's because we have a warm nose layer of air in the upper levels of the atmosphere, which has thawed that frozen precipitation. By the time it makes it to the ground, it'll contact where temperatures will be at or below freezing this evening into tomorrow morning, and that's how we end up with freezing rain, maybe a little sleet mixed in with time to time again, and I'm primarily talking between I-20 and I-85. Here is the Alabama snow map. You see 3 to 4 inches of snow up there at Muscle Shoals. Huntsville, 1 to 2 inches. Coleman, probably less than an inch. Hamilton, less than an inch. And down there around Jasper, less than an inch as well. As you can see, we don't even expect measurable snow in Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, or Gadsden. Maybe Fort Payne. We'll have to see. But that measurable snow really is not going to be the big deal for the state of Alabama. This is what's going to be the big deal across the southeastern United States, where you see those darker reds. There could be problems right there. We're talking widespread power outages are certainly possible from Huntsville back into north central Mississippi. And then maybe as far south as Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Gadsden, you could see some glazing out there, maybe up to 1/10 of an inch of ice, and that can cause problems, especially if the wind picks up, and we expect that it will. So that ice load and the wind can cause some power line and tree problems. Though it doesn't really show it here, some of the models are suggesting that we'll have a glazing all the way into East Alabama and maybe all the way south down to around Mobile. We could see a glazing. Again, the problem that's going to cause, maybe there are some slick spots on the roadways when you get up tomorrow morning, but your steps going out your front door or your back door, that patio, your sidewalk, going out to your automobile across that parking lot, you could have a problem there, so be real careful. Don't slip and fall and bust a hip. Yeah, make sure you know what's going on out there across East Alabama and West Georgia. Bridges, could probably have a little glazing of ice on them, but most locations can handle that with treating those bridges with sand and gravel, if indeed that does happen. So I don't anticipate major widespread travel issues between I-20 and I-85. Now, I know a lot of school systems have gone ahead and made the call for Tuesday and Wednesday. I know for sure that all schools in Randolph County, and that includes the city of Roanoke, will be virtual Tuesday and Wednesday and return to in-person class on Thursday. And that is primarily because of the cold, frigid temperatures that we are anticipating Tuesday and Wednesday. The worst of all of this is going to be Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, when single-digit temperatures are going to be possible in the higher elevations, probably low to mid-teens for most of you. And but you factor in that wind chill, and it's going to be ugly. There's a look at the temperatures. We're talking 14 in LaGrange, so East Alabama will be somewhere there between 12 and 14 degrees, we believe. This is Wednesday morning when you get up. But you factor in that northwest wind gusting to 20 miles per hour, and that's going to bring the wind chill factor well down into the single digits. Some of you may even hit zero. from time to time. So very dangerous, cold temperatures on the way. It will be brutal Wednesday morning. It will be brutal later on tonight after midnight. It's going to be really cold. Look at those single digits up in Tennessee. 2 degrees. 2 degrees Wednesday morning in Nashville, Tennessee. You've got today to get those pipes protected. Make sure you take care of your automobile and have a plan for your pets and check on the elderly so that everybody's taken care of during this extended period of cold. Now, we warm back up on Thursday, but we get hit again Friday night into Saturday, and it's going to get pretty close to this cold again next weekend across East Alabama and West Georgia. There's the current watch warning map this morning for the southeastern United States. All of those pink counties are winter storm warnings, and then the purplish blue is a winter weather advisory, and that has been extended a little bit further south since this graphic was put up on the board. So Randolph, Clay, Coosa, Tallapoosa, you're all included in the winter weather advisory that's been issued this morning. That also covers the further south up there in North Georgia as well. Basically, what the winter weather advisory means is there could be just enough precipitation to be a nuisance. There could be some travel issues in different locations, so you've got to really pay attention to the weather forecast and the latest information as we move through this event across East Alabama and West Georgia. But yes, Randolph County, you and Clay, you are both included in the winter weather advisory, even though this graphic does not show that. We'll get that updated before we do our next Weather Talk Live. Let's look at some current conditions. Currently, it's 41 degrees out there at the venue at 5 Points Farms. That's probably about as warm as we're going to get this morning. We may warm up a degree or two. I know the forecast high is in the 50s, but I'm not really sure that happens. We're going to be mostly cloudy, even though it says sunny out there. We're mostly cloudy at this hour. Wind is out of the west at 3, humidity 61%, the barometric pressure 30.16, the dew point 29. That's as low as the temperature can go at the moment. It can't go below the dew point. So you can see there is opportunity there for the temperature to start falling. High temperature yesterday was 56, sunrise this morning at 6:43, and the sun sets this evening at 4:58 p.m. Again, we're talking about a high maybe of 57. I think that is way optimistic. 53 sounds a little more like it over there in Ashland, Lineville, 55 up in Wedowee, Ranburne 53. Then we'll hit the upper 50s down there in Valley. Again, this would be this morning. Temperatures will be falling this afternoon with that drizzle and light rain occurring. And then as we get into the overnight hours, we drop down to freezing or below, and then that's when we would have problems with some freezing rain potentially across East Alabama and West Georgia. Here's your 6-day forecast from the Alpha Weather Center. Jamie Dukas, your local Alpha agent. We'll call it partly sunny to mostly cloudy today. Again, the forecast is for a high of 57. I think that's way overdone. I don't think we'll ever get there. 25, your overnight low tonight, with rain changing over to potentially freezing rain and maybe some sleet. I don't know that you see any snowflakes between I-20 and I-85, but hey, we've got a few in there for you just in case. 40% chance of precipitation tonight. And then on Tuesday, we'll go back to mostly sunny conditions and just downright bone-chilling cold. 35 is all we'll do on your Tuesday with a brisk northwest wind. It's not going to feel 35. It's going to feel like it's in the low 20s pretty much all day long. And then we bottom out somewhere around 13 degrees on Tuesday night. Wednesday morning you get up, it's just going to be not a good day to open that front door. Just keep it closed. Even though we will make it into the low 40s in the afternoon, I think we stay in the 30s most of the day. Still going to be windy on Wednesday, so it's not going to feel that warm, if you call that warm. Down to 20 for your overnight low Wednesday night, and then on Thursday, mostly sunny. Tropical heat wave on the way, 50 out there on Thursday. We stay above freezing Thursday night, and we'll introduce a 60% chance of rain. So some of the higher elevations across the area on Thursday night may deal with a little mixture of sleet and rain from time to time, but we're not anticipating any winter precipitation problems on Thursday night. But reinforcing cold is on the way. Friday will hit 43 for your high, down to 16 Friday night, and then on Saturday, sunny with a high in the upper 30s, down to the upper teens for an overnight low on Saturday night. Good news beyond that, we warm up a bit. The pattern changes somewhat, and we're not going to be looking at any more frigid cold probably for at least 5 or 6 days beyond next weekend. Here's the Southern Union State Community College live Doppler HD radar, and we're going to show you what's happening out there this morning. You see all the snow blowing across Tennessee, mainly south of Nashville now, and in North Alabama, right along the Tennessee River, the Tennessee Valley areas of southern Tennessee and northern Alabama is where the best snow is taking place at this hour. Let me take you in a little closer. We'll start right there on the eastern side of all of this. And you see Knoxville is getting a little snow this morning. Sevierville up there, Gatlinburg, pretty good snow rates falling up there in Gatlinburg this morning. Then we have snow as we go back to the east, right down the interstate this morning, I-24 up there toward I-40. We have snow taking place there. Cleveland, Tennessee is picking up some snow. Chattanooga is what I'm trying to say. Chattanooga's right there at 32 degrees, and we've had some precipitation in the area. Not sure all of it's making it to the ground, but certainly some snowflakes blowing in the wind this morning there around Chattanooga. Not a whole lot happening in northwest Georgia. There could be a few flakes there. But then back over in Alabama, up there around Bridgeport, back down toward Mentone and into Scottsboro, Fort Payne. You're above freezing in Fort Payne, but just barely. So rain and precipitation should begin there fairly soon. But here's the problem. This is what we're concerned about. Let me bring the radar loop current and stop it for you so you can get a good look at this. Right now, from Huntsville back down to Decatur, Hartselle, Haleyville, that is most likely falling in the form of freezing rain right there across Decatur. It's 27 degrees, but up in the upper levels of the atmosphere, we've got a warm nose of air that's pushing through the area. So we could be potentially looking at a pretty good glazing of ice up here this morning, north of Coleman, all the way up to the Tennessee state line. So if you've got business up there in Decatur or Huntsville, I would seriously consider making plans and postponing that trip up I-65. That could be a very dangerous setup unfolding up there in North Alabama. Then as we come on back over to the west, we see snow up there in Florence. There's some heavier bands of snow, but for the most part, it's pretty light. I want you to notice the temperature, though. 23 degrees this morning in Florence. How about Corinth over here in Mississippi at 14 degrees? And we have freezing rain taking place there as well. Again, this is pretty phenomenal that we have freezing rain and 14 degrees, but we have warm air in the upper levels of the atmosphere that's causing all this stuff to fall as liquid back over in Mississippi, and that's going to freeze on contact. So again, maybe a significant ice storm in the process of setting up over here in northern Mississippi and across North Alabama. Again, now understand this is the radar depiction of what's taking place, whether it's snow or ice, so there is a chance that this is still falling as snow, but the radar is pretty persistent with it, and they carry that freezing rain all the way back over into southern Arkansas and northern Louisiana. And we zoom back out and you kind of get a sense of the temperatures across the area. Fayetteville, Arkansas at 3 degrees this morning. That's what's headed our way. It is 9 this morning up in Memphis, Tennessee. It's 43 in Atlanta, Georgia, and 34 in Birmingham. So huge temperature contrast just between Birmingham and Greenville, Mississippi. That's about 150 miles right there. We're talking well over a 10-degree departure in the temperature in just 150 miles. So that cold air is headed our way, and it is going to be brutal as we head into your Tuesday and Wednesday. Been very busy here in the weather department. No question about it. Hey, don't forget to follow us over on Twitter. We broadcast all of our weather information on Twitter, just as we do on Facebook, YouTube, and at drdonwx.com. That's our home on the World Wide Web. Don't forget to text the word alert to 256-540-8664. That is Randolph County's Hyper Reach, so that you can get important information about road conditions, about school closings, and weather information. If you have not signed up in Randolph County, now's the time to do it. And if you don't live in Randolph County, check your county website. Guarantee you your local community or county has a mass notification system that will send you the exact same information. Don't forget to support us every chance you get. Like us on Facebook. Also go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe. And if you own a business and you'd like to be a partner with us on Dr. Don's Weather, like Southern Union State Community College up there in the corner, just send me a message on Messenger, and I can have you started by the time we do our next forecast. We will be doing some Weather Talk Lives for you today. Probably early afternoon we'll do our first one, and then we'll come back this evening at 7 p.m., and we'll do it again where we just sit around and have a general discussion about weather. I'll show you the latest information, and we'll have a good time. So make sure you watch your Facebook feed today to find out when we're going to be going live. I know we will be at 7 o'clock tonight, but I'm pretty sure we're going to do one for you this afternoon as well. We'll let you know what time coming up a little later on this morning, right here on Dr. Don's Weather.
This has been your primetime forecast for East Alabama and West Georgia from the Alpha Weather Center, powered by Southern Union State Community College, the venue at 5 Points Farms and Boondocks Barbecue and Creamery. Dr. Don's Weather is supported by the Randolph County Commission, First Light Coffee, Roger Bell Auto Brokers, Southern Auction Solutions, Genesis Weight Clinic, Jimmy Stevens Construction, Anchor Roofing, the Town of Wadley, Auction 431 South, the Salem Auction House, and Bama Diesel Repair. Be sure to like us on Facebook, share us with all of your friends, and subscribe to Dr. Don's Weather on YouTube. We will be back tomorrow morning with another edition of your primetime forecast on Dr. Don's Weather.